What's up with Little Kim?
Please, more gossip, more gossip. You need to pick it up.
Wendy girl, who's the gay rapper?
Rather controversial.
Controversy in the rap world.
This is what I know how to do, so I'm not playing.
I hear you.
Go hard or go home.
All right.
The ain't playing.
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this before.
The Wendy Williams Experience.
Hey, everybody. I hope all the affiliates are with us. I sent up a flare last break. We're going to have Faith Evans come in right now, and the VH1 cameras are here. Wendy Williams is on fire. I have no idea when this actual show is going to play, but the more show... Oh, crap. She's like a size 0. I would never have recognized you.
Hello.
You look fabulous. You always look fabulous, but...
Thank you.
Wow. Hey, Hollywood. Give me another one.
That was not Hollywood. I'm trying not to give you the makeup.
Yeah, you know what? I don't like the double kiss either. I don't like to kiss at all. As a matter of fact, I would rather just shake hands and go on about my business.
So let's start off.
You know, exactly. You know what I'm saying? People don't wash their hands and whatnot. Not you, because you're a mother, so you know the value of clean hands and germs. Faith looks fabulous. Faith is wearing, what kind of jeans are those? Notify jeans. And she has them tucked into black go-go boots, looking wonderful. She's wearing a beige turtleneck. And she's got this season's one of the most coveted outfits. You're not wearing it like a granny, and that is the crocheted shawl. Look, listen, I got a bunch of those from the J-Lo Design House.
I love J-Lo stuff.
And don't you?
Yeah, I think it's hot.
Does your daughter like it, China?
She does, but you know, she can't wear it. Stuff. Yeah. But she's very fashionable, actually.
How old is she now?
11.
It is very nice to have you here.
11. Thank you.
Faith's new CD, everybody, comes out on April 5th.
Yes.
And it's called First Lady,
yeah.
which is such an obvious name to me for any CD that you have out. I'm surprised that it's taken this long to actually use that name. When I heard it, I was like, deja vu? Has she used that name before?
Well, yeah, I've been, Puff always
First
referred
Lady
to me as the First Lady.
And so now you finally have a CD coming out with the same name. I'm feeling all crazy. You know, I had all my camera shots already before you came in here. Now I'm crossing my leg and scrunching
mess it up?
my abdomen. No.
Oh.
No, it's not you. It's not you. So let's talk about what's really good. So first of all, how are the kids?
Great. They're great.
And how's your husband? How's Todd doing?
He's fine. He sends his regards.
Tell him I said hello.
He's running around shopping for the kids.
Now, you guys are going on your 3rd year of marriage?
8th year.
8th year?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh, time has flown. So let's start back during the summer, Faith. You know, first of all, the song, the single, All the Pain, I'm Struggling, He Walks With Me. The song always leaves me in tears. I love the new single.
Thank you. Actually, thank you, because everyone tells me that you always comment on it when you play it.
When I listen to it by myself, I shed a tear. So during the summer, you did have a run-in with the law. You've addressed it before, but never here.
Winter.
Was it the winter?
Yeah, January.
Okay. Tell me all about it.
27th to be exact.
Damn. She knows. Tell me all about it.
Oh, wow. I mean, what's the simplest way to put it?
You were stopped.
We were pulled over for a routine traffic stop, pretty much. We had an expired temporary tag. And we were in like a real small town in Georgia.
Okay.
And I mean, anyone that's familiar with the exits by Atlanta Airport, there's like 2 exits that have like a bunch of gas stations. Mm-hmm. So I was really kind of trying to get gas. And I got off like one exit too far. And that was a town that I never been in.
Yeah.
So basically, we were kind of making a U-turn to get back on the freeway when we were pulled over.
And then they said there
by
was
the cops that saw a Hummer driving through this town.
Yeah. And then they saw the black people inside.
Well, even before that, I think the Hummer itself is what kind of caused speculation. Later on, they said supposedly the area is a bad area, but, you know, I don't really delve into those areas in Georgia that I don't know about, you know. But in any case, I think certainly once I pulled my license out and the name made sense to the first officer, and then she called about 4 or 5 more officers, and it was way blown out of proportion. Basically, they said they smelled weed in the car, and that was what led to everything else.
They said
wanted to search.
I thought
and-
they said they found cocaine also.
Well, I'm
the
talking
car.
about, which is why they told us to get out the car.
Okay.
But I have still not heard the actual officers say that they found that in the car.
Yeah.
That's what I heard after we were arrested
Yeah.
and once the media got a hold of it. But no, that wasn't true. The first is more close to being the truth.
The weed.
But,
The
hell.
chief.
I mean, that's a little more close to the truth. I've heard a lot of different
Yeah.
substances since that time.
How
but-
did China, she's your oldest, how did she react?
China, she was worried, but you know what? I must say, my mom, between my mother and Whitney Houston, because Whitney called our house like a lot after, everybody saw it on the news, and she wanted to make sure they were okay, that they need a ride to school, what have you.
Oh.
My mother called
That's
and
nice.
basically explained it to China and the kids that that we've been arrested and that we will be coming home later, but don't worry, just in case they went through whatever kids go through at school,
Yeah.
But she was fine. She was fine after that. That first day, not being there, I can't say exactly what she dealt with, but they were fine. They were fine after that. The next day, I was right back in carpool line picking them up from school.
Good, good. With sunglasses to
not even,
staring
not
the other
even.
parents directly in the face.
I mean, and they went to a Christian school, ironically, but
Yeah.
I was just like, that's life. Everybody got drama. So
You are working the red blonde hair color. I am loving it on you. You've always been one of the people who looks absolutely beautiful in the red hair color.
Thank you.
And do you dye your eyebrows or is that pencil? What do you do?
We lighten my brows.
Okay.
And then you use the red hued pencil. To
Absolutely.
Kind of the same thing they do with the hair. Lighten it and put the red on top.
Uh-huh. So what size jeans do you wear now?
I wear at 27.
Very nice. And how did you lose your weight?
Well, I had a trainer for like 3 years when I lived in Georgia, and I was working out with her prior to my last album, and I lost some weight then, and I kind of just really tried to take the fitness thing as far as I could, and I got really, really heavy into it. Of course, I tried different diet plans or eating plans, and dropped a few pounds by this, that, and the third. But the working out has probably been the main thing to sustain.
I have yet to see the new video. And
Are you serious? You don't watch videos.
Well, you know what? I try to do it in between, but it's difficult because there's other stuff on TV that I like to watch. I watch The Surreal Life and all kind of other stuff going on. But I have to say, I got mixed reviews on you. People were saying that you looked sickly with the weight loss, and other people were saying that you look fantastic, and there's a bunch of hate. And I have to say, you look fantastic, and this is hate.
Thank you.
People, first of all, you were never a fat woman. But you are just so curvy and statuesque. You look terrific. Do you Botox?
No, I don't Botox. Thankfully, I don't even have to think about that yet.
Yeah.
I think right now the only thing that I'm getting aggravated with like aging is like freckles. I get more freckles, the older I get.
Do you go to a dermatologist on a regular basis?
No, but I do facials and microdermabrasion like every 2.5 weeks.
Yeah. What do your homegirl earrings say? She's got the bamboo hoops on, but her hair's covering. Faith and Todd. I love it. Ghetto and fabulous all at the same time. So what's good with you and little Kim? What are you feeling now with her being convicted? And aside from the conviction, what was your relationship or thoughts on Kim?
Well, as far as the case goes, man, she's really been in my prayers a whole lot, especially since the whole, her being convicted and stuff. I really feel for her.
Yeah.
Because I've been arrested before.
Been through the pain.
And I would never have to go beyond that first holding room in jail. I was just as close to having to go take a shower with them. And, I was like, I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
But, I certainly pray for her. But she's a pretty tough cookie. I think she'll come through it. Just stay in prayer and, just try and figure out what is the reason and what the lesson is to learn in it, But aside from that, I have a whole lot of respect for Kim, just as an artist who's able to now stand on her own. Like, she's an icon in her own right, aside from Big.
Aside from everything,
You know what I mean? So, I totally applaud that.
Apparently, you've done a lot of growing, because at the time that she was with Big, didn't that overlap with your marriage with Biggie Small?
Yeah, but at the time, I never knew of her being, quote unquote, with Big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I didn't really find out any type of hanky panky until we were until we were separated. I never had any clue. She was like the last person that I knew anything about.
And so at that time, did you harbor? Well,
I mean, of course, I was angry.
Yes,
I had to, went through what I had to
but
go
look how
through
much
and
growth.
get it out,
Growth is something that only comes with time. Look at you.
It's water under the bridge. I mean, to be honest, I look at it now like we fell in love with the same dude. I mean, it happened.
Yes.
It has happened to me before
Yes.
that. And more than that, he had her mind. And that's a whole different level of it. And I mean, whether I looked at it that way then or not, I did realize that, maybe she did put a lot more on it than it really was. But I didn't want, at the time, it was just a shock and angry I was his wife. So I dealt with those emotions.
Yes.
And, I just had to get that out my system.
Have you spoken to Whitney since she checked back into rehab?
No, I actually haven't talked to Whitney since we left Atlanta. But my daughter and Chrissy are friends. So Chrissy calls
same
China.
age, right?
Yeah, she calls China a lot. And, she actually came to L.A. recently, and I was trying to get them together, but she was like in a whole different part of town.
How's Little Big? CJ?
He's fine.
How old is he now?
He's big. He's 8.5.
Oh, wow.
8.5.
How's his weight? How much does he weigh?
He weighs about 105 pounds.
Okay. And do you have him watching his weight? It's difficult, I know, being a mother and stuff, but, he obviously has the propensity, if you don't watch it, based on his dad. And listen, and it hasn't been an easy struggle for you. I know you have fat thoughts. So you always have to, I have fat thoughts.
I do, but you know what? I don't have fat thoughts, but my fat thoughts are more like I'm not going back. That's my thoughts. Like when as far as the eating and stuff like that, my eating issues certainly came more so during my pregnancy. And then when I got comfortable being that certain weight and not trying to get it off, of course, I got comfortable not really caring about what I ate. You know what I mean? But now, if I take 2 bites of something that I know I'll see it sitting on my hip the next day, I get up and I got to plan out when I'm going to work it out.
Yes.
I got to work out.
Yeah.
But CJ, he's actually, Ty has them so active in the parks and stuff out there. They play football, they run track, baseball, T-ball. So, he's going to be a big guy, but he's going to be athletic, which is something that Big was not.
Yes, yes.
So I'm not really worried. If he has size, we'll be able to use it to his advantage.
So how's Grandma Valletta Wallace?
Miss Wallace is good. I just talked to her earlier today, actually. She's good. She's really good.
She has a really good relationship with the kids. Faith has been here before. Mrs. Wallace has visited the show before as well. And I believe you say summertime is the time when the kids spend like a month with her or something like that. She has all the grandchildren at her house.
Yeah, we usually try and split up the summer vacation since we don't live in this area anymore. So if they're here for the whole summer, we'll split up half up there with her and half, in Newark with my family, so everybody can get a chance to see the kids.
Yeah. Everybody's getting reality shows these days. Have you been approached about a reality show? Because based on you being the R&B diva and you having the heir to the throne as your son, CJ.
Well, I'm working on, actually, the closest thing to that I'm working on is a motivational fitness DVD, which is sort of going to be formatted like a reality series, but it's just, in a DVD form. It's not like a thing where it's going to be more than one episode.
Nice.
But, I mean, the way we're going to shoot it is going to be a day in the life and kind of how I do the veggie juice and then go to the stairs and call my homegirls, like, let's work out.
Yeah.
And do the little ghetto workout I do, because I don't really go to the gym as much now unless I'm on the road.
Yeah.
I just kind of work out outside and at home and stuff. I've been approached, but it was more when I first started working on this album, and someone wanted to kind of document my whole process of not being out for a few years, having a new deal, making the album, but they followed me like for 2 days and
then you couldn't take it?
No, I mean, I don't know what happened. I don't know. It wasn't my thing. I was just going to do it for someone else.
Now, does Puffy, because at one point you were the first lady of Bad Boy Records, and you still have it going on with your new deal, your new CD, your new single, but does Puffy still get a piece of your publishing or any points on future albums?
No. Got my publishing back.
Very nice. Yeah. Very nice.
No contractual ties, but there was certainly, we had to do business in order to make it that way.
Yes.
So, he definitely got some money.
Now, your China's father is also a producer, done stuff with the R&B group, now defunct 702, done stuff with Mary J. Blige.
Yeah,
How come he's never done stuff with you, or has he? And I just don't recall.
Well, he's never submitted anything to me. So, I mean, if he did, I would certainly, I don't know if he just didn't feel I would use. I don't know. He's a good producer and a good musician.
Is he a good man?
He probably is now. I mean, when
So
we
you
were
don't
in a
even really-
relationship, he was still becoming a man.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you
so
were young, huh?
it's hard for me to say what kind of man he is. He's now married and he has, a few other kids. So
Yeah.
he's probably a good man to be able to keep his wife and, but I don't compare that to when we were together at all.
But you know what? I guess since Will and Jada came out with how they keep their family together, where Sharice, his former wife, is all a part of the mix, I look at everybody like they're supposed to be incorporating like that when really they're very unique in that situation.
Well, they are, but you know what? It could be that way. It could be that way. I mean, Ty and I have total grasp on what the makeup of our situation is. I mean, if her dad, wanted to be a more active or a more physically present part in her life, the door's always been open. It's not like, there's a do not enter sign on it. The door is open. But, I think that he's probably may have just gotten himself planted and his feet planted the way he wanted to and building his family. So I don't intervene in that. She's in communication with him and his mom and her brothers and sisters. So, I don't push it. I let her develop it. And, like I said, it's an open door.
Yeah.
It's an open door.
So Newark, New Jersey is your home originally.
Mm-hmm.
That's where your roots are. Do you still have family that lives in Newark? And now that you're back in New York, do you go across the river and see the hood?
I don't make it over there as often as I would like, because most time when I'm in town, unless it's a planned vacation, I'm here like up in the morning doing the hair and makeup.
Right.
By the end of the day, it's like they're in bed for work tomorrow. Usually when I do make it over there, it's like I just go.
Yeah,
I don't even plan it out. I just go over there and try and fit in the time to make sure I visit my mom or my grandmother and grandfather. I'm never able to see everybody, so I'm sure it's plenty of people, mad at me. But I'm just living and working. And
You got to be careful,
trying
too, going back to the old spots, because you might get Shaw moneyed. I was just telling that story. Did you hear when you were back in the office?
I did hear it.
Isn't
I did
that tragic?
hear it.
But stories like that happen all the time.
They do. They really do. And I certainly walk around with the reality, with that in mind. Like anything could happen anywhere.
Hasn't it really changed for you? Remember when Queen Latifah was robbed, carjacked in Harlem? To me, that was like a light bulb moment that, damn, if they could get Queen Latifah, who holds a certain presence in our community.
I mean, of course, even bigger than that. Look at Big. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And people like Tupac and other people who've been like murdered or, had something really crazy like that happen to them that have that status.
Do you think Big's murder will ever be solved?
I do believe it will be one day.
In our lifetime?
Hopefully in our lifetime. I still have hope.
Yeah.
But I mean, I know for a fact that, like I've said this a lot recently with all the different stories being out there about the trial and the case. If nothing else, I mean, I know that what Ms. Wallace and I and Jan are doing on behalf of the estate and on behalf of his legacy, it's just a matter of principle at this time. So much time is going on that things have been tampered with, and you got so many theories out there that it's like, come on, it's been 8 years. It's sometimes hard for me to even believe that. And I've been dealing with it for the whole time.
Yeah.
But, even if we don't find out who, I believe we will get much closer to knowing why. And even if it's not who actually pulled the trigger, who was behind that person doing it. I mean, I truly have faith, but the more time goes on, it's really hard to keep it, but I can't, I totally have to, I have to, for the sake of CJ and Tiana.
How's Mrs. Wallace holding up regarding them? I mean, it's still so unanswered. I mean, you, Faith, have gone on and married, and you have a whole nother life. But she doesn't have a distraction. I mean, that was her only son. That was her only child. That was her, when you see her, do you all have, and I'm not asking for the content of the conversations, but do you all have intimate conversations regarding it where she feels comfortable enough around you to just, lose herself in a few extra tears?
Oh, yes. I mean, she's I mean, every day every time I talk to her, and I'm sure every day of her life, that emotion is there. I mean, everybody that, even on the business end that deals with her, knows that a lot of her is right now driven by, her emotion as a mother who lost a son, and her passion, from the same end. Just the fact that she has a passion about just doing whatever she has to do, whether she sees it in a realistic sense as far as from the street angle, because there's so many people that we know something more than what they're saying.
Yep.
But, I don't even know what goes on in her mind, but I can imagine and put myself as close as possible, because I have had conversations with her where she certainly shares her emotions, and she's fed up, just as fed up, which is why we haven't yet backed down and dropped the case, and dropped everything with the trial, no matter how long it's been.
When's the last time you saw Red Man?
Ooh,
You're a homeboy from Newark.
Wow. I saw Red at the House of Blues in L.A. when Nas did a show. I believe it was probably about 6 months ago. I don't see him that much. I don't know what's going on with him.
Well, I mean, you also got a whole family situation, which in addition to being in and out of the studio, watching your weight, which I'm sure is a part-time job.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. And I appreciate your honesty for, admitting it, because I know, you get to a certain point in your life, and particularly in the business that you're in, you know that you can't compete with the Beyoncés. You could just be the best Faith you can be.
Thank you. You know what? You said it.
Yeah.
Exactly, because that's exactly what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is.
Do you prefer Dro or Hayes? Just asking.
Neither of the above. None of the above.
Just asking.
I love her. I just love her. Nobody does your job quite like you. Nobody can even do it.
I want to talk to you about when the last time was that you saw Missy Elliott. I want to ask you about Mary J. Blige. There's so many different things that I want to ask you. I want you to come back for one final break with us.
Okay.
Okay. And I want to see your walk away as you walk back to the pink room. Do you mind?
Okay.
All right.
My butt ain't really.
It's okay.
It's
okay.
I'm working on that. I'm doing squats.
And can you remove the macrame just so we can get the full look? How you doing?
It's Roberto Cavalli.
Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
Fabulous. How much did you pay for that?
I don't know. I think it was
approximately
like $1,800.
$1,800 for that?
Though. But you know what? I kicked and screamed all the way from the fitting because But a girl has to have nice things.
No, I know.
A nice piece that'll stay in my wardrobe for years and years to come.
Yeah.
And I can hand it down to China and,
All right. Well, lift it up so I can just get your walk away.
Here you go, Wendy. Everyone, as I walk out holding up my shawl.
Cameras, make sure you get her. All right. Look at Faith. Jeez. That is. What size shoe do you wear?
8.5. These are 9 though.
That's
I need
nice.
9 for the width.
Me too. I need a 13 for the width. Yeah, I do. I wear size 11, but I'm just up to a size 13 today. Oh, he's doing well. And the 4 years old, and he lost 2 pounds, or he lost 4 pounds. He weighs 92 pounds. He weighed 96. No, give me the walk away. We're going into a break. Taryn, just keep the door open. Who is this man in the middle of the way? No, go back to the pink room, Faith. No, keep walking. Stay out of Faith's walk away. Look at Faith. Boy, I need some of this Barbie feet. What is that? Don't groupie Faith. Don't let them groupie you. Just, young lady, just walk her back to the pink room.
I'm trying to go to the bathroom.
Look at everybody standing out in the hall. All right, leader. All right, Taryn, go ahead. Lead Faith to the bathroom. There goes Taryn, queen of all interns. She's always getting a shot on VH1. I saw right before Faith came in, she was putting on her lip gloss. Now nobody's looking at Faith because Taryn's got like triple W's. Everybody, what's the time?
Are we ready to go in now?
Oh, all right. We're going in now. Affiliates, when we come back, it's business as usual. Nothing different. Thank you for your cooperation. At ease.
Kinda hard to get a job back out on the block.
Charge that to the game.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Jaheim, a.k.a. Mr. Ghetto Love, and I'm hanging out with the fabulous Wendy Williams.
Hey, everybody. It's the Wendy Williams Experience, and we'll open the door. Faith Evans is going to be coming right back in the studio. Open the door. Regina, get out of the way. Let Faith walk fast. Quickly. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Seaweed. What were you eating? Oh, you said you were going to bring sushi, and then you left it in the other room.
Actually, I didn't even get anything but a seaweed salad.
I love it. It's $9 across the street, seaweed salad.
It was okay, though.
Was it?
It was okay.
How much do you pay for seaweed salad at your favorite spot?
I don't know. actually. 'Cause
It's $9. It is the most damn expensive, and you get a little tiny.
Probably about the same though. Usually in New York, I go to Nobu. It's probably about the same.
I only order that when someone else is paying. When they called earlier and said that you were going to be ordering sushi, I was going to get everything that I wouldn't buy myself.
Why didn't you order?
Market price oysters, seaweed salad.
Why didn't you order?
Because nobody called in a credit card. I wasn't going to get stuck with that bill.
We actually did have one. Courtesy.
Wait, no, she can't touch that. You're just going to have to. Is that okay with the shot? VH1 is here filming Faith as well. Faith, your first album, Faithfully, it was a great album. Didn't sell as well as I expected, and I'm sure you had a couple of concerns about the sale of that last album. That was with Bad Boy, though, right?
My third album.
Your third album,
one.
Faithfully.
Yeah,
your last one.
It certainly deserved to do better commercially. I mean, it was a great piece of work.
Yeah.
Grammy nominated.
That's right.
But it sort of got caught up in the transition with Bad Boy, leaving Arista and stuff like that.
Are you happy at Capitol?
So far, so good. Actually, everything is great so far.
Now, do you feel that when you and Puffy did your split, and I'm speaking financial now, were you remotely insulted by what all transpired with what you were left with financially?
No, I wouldn't say that at all, because in going into a situation like that, when you're still contractually bound, I mean, you're going to have to negotiate some numbers.
Yeah.
That's just how it goes. Even if it's, basketball, on a basketball team, usually you can't even really break your contract.
Are you happy with what you were left with?
I was well aware that, I would have to sacrifice a couple of dollars and cents, for my freedom, but it was worth it.
It was worth it.
And I got my publishing back.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, nice. Was your husband, Todd, is he your manager also?
Yes.
So was he in there banging fist?
Well,
screaming?
Let's just say he does keep the fire up under some folks.
Had to. When's the last time you talked to Missy Elliott? At one point you were Faith, the songwriter. You lived with Missy at one point early in your career.
Well, Missy sort of used to stay at my apartment in the city on and off. I wouldn't say she really lived there, but, I just, as a friend, let her stay there when she needed to. I haven't talked to Missy. It's probably been a couple of years. There
are a lot of upcoming artists now. I want to run down some names and be as honest as you can with how you feel about them. Tweet.
I love Tweet. I think she's extremely creative. And actually, I heard a lot of Tweet's music before her first record came out. The stuff that she did with just her and her guitar.
Nicole Ray.
Amazing. Great voice.
And Keisha Cole.
I like Keisha Cole. She's kind of like, she's a little sassy.
Alicia
She kind of
Keys.
reminds me of myself. Alicia Keys, oh my gosh. She's a prodigy.
Yeah.
My daughter, China, actually is like, to me, she's my Alicia Keys, because she's like producing, she can play, she does tracks and stuff.
Now, between the third album and this one about to come out, the fourth album, did any venom transpire with you regarding other R&B females, I'm speaking of, that might have left you for dead on the side of the road? And here you are still standing?
No, I wouldn't say so. Nothing that I'm aware of.
No slick words behind your back?
Oh, I've heard plenty of slick words behind my back. But
Can we name names?
They don't faze me none. I mean, that's usually their issues. They're not my problem.
Who?
Anybody that you can say that has ever had something slick to say about me, you can go down the list. Come on.
Oh, well, damn you.
Come on, keep it going.
Damn you.
What you got, Wendy? What you got?
I don't. Do you hang out with T-Bot? I mean, do you hang out with T.I. and Tiny? They live in Atlanta.
No, but I've seen her a few times. She came to actually my birthday party. Todd gave me a birthday party in Atlanta before we moved, and Tiny came by.
Are you invited to Monica's shower?
No, but I heard about it.
She's about to have C. Murder's baby.
Are you sure?
Okay, I was just checking with you. Well, C. Murder told me himself that it's not Young Buck's baby. What's the buzz around Atlanta? Who's Monica's baby's fault?
I don't live in Atlanta anymore. That's probably why I'm not invited.
You live in L.A.?
I live in L.A., so I haven't really... The only thing I know is that Monica is having a baby shower.
You moved out to L.A. after this whole thing transpired with the drugs?
It certainly was around the same time, but more so prompted by my son in the Capitol.
Yes,
they're
that's
based
right.
in L.A.,
That's
and
right.
it just made more sense.
The beautiful round building that Nat King Cole built.
Yes.
Yeah. How's life in L.A. for you?
It's really cool. L.A. just has this certain tranquility about it, especially if you know the right places to be.
Yeah.
And it was a great change in order for me to not only be able to go home at the end of the day and make a video and still go home and go to the studio.
Who are
still
some of
go
your
home.
celebrity friends out there?
Celebrity friends in LA?
Actors, actresses, musicians.
You know, Wendy, I don't really take it home with me too much like that.
Okay.
I can't really
Gotcha.
think of one.
Were you invited to Mary J. Blige's wedding?
No, I wasn't.
When's the last time you spoke with Mary?
I can't even remember the last time I spoke with Mary. When's the last time you spoke to her?
About
Because I've been kind of asking people what's up
about a
with her.
year and a half ago. She was a guest here on the show, and also her husband and her and my husband and I, we all gone out for dinner, and she's really at peace with everything. She's married. She seems really, really happy.
Yeah, I know the last time I saw her, she told me that she was she was a Christian and that she'd just been living a clean life and she was in a whole nother place spiritually. So I applaud that. Especially given where she's come from in terms of the story she's told.
Let's put it like it was. Mary was a mess, and now she's not. Do you watch Desperate Housewives?
Occasionally, but you know what? I don't watch too much TV other than the Nickelodeon. I flip through videos, and I certainly watch Surreal Life and Strange Love. I get to catch your show on VH1.
Thank you.
Sometimes. And,
do you think Michael Jackson is guilty or innocent? Blanket statement. There is no gray area.
Wow. I think that Michael Jackson is probably innocent. I believe he is.
Is Puffy involved in any way, shape, or form with Little Big's life?
Puffy is involved in the sense that, even though sometimes we have to bring it to his attention, don't forget about CJ, but, it's not like it takes more than that. You know what I mean? He's a busy man. He has a family of his own.
Yes.
So I wouldn't, I would never point a finger at him saying he's supposed to necessarily care for CJ and be his caretaker, so to speak. He definitely looks out when we remind him, don't forget about CJ.
Nice. Faith, are you happy?
I'm very happy. I'm very, very happy.
Nice.
Very
well,
happy.
You look wonderful. Thank you so much for coming in for the interview. Everybody, don't forget that Faith's new CD, First Lady, will be released on April 5th. The single is out now and burning up the charts every place. And I want to thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. Did you get a chance to hear the album?
Yeah, not the whole album.
Okay, you need to hear the whole album. I thought we were going to. That's why. No wonder.
What I've heard, I love.
Okay. I got to get you a copy because you need to marinate with it and just tell people how amazing it is.
I will.
It really is.
I will.
Really is.
I will.
So make sure you guys mark your calendars, April 5th.
April 5th.
First Lady.
Thank you, Faith.
Thank you, Wendy.
She's always such a great interview. We'll be back, everybody.